competitors were stressed. I was stressed. Hello, everybody. Welcome to After Action Report, your numbers recap show for all Schmoedown matches to keep you caught up on all the action. As always, I'm your host, Megs, joined and also, as always, by my favorite co-host, Nat. Oh my goodness, what a week did we have?
Yeah, what a week indeed. I really like doing this show because usually, say last year, I would always fall behind on matches and I have to catch up. But now I'm stressed every week, so thank you for this show.
Absolutely. And yes, we will be spoiling the pay-per-view as we do every time. We are going to be going through everything that happened all of last week. So if you did not see the pay-per-view, be forewarned about that. Thank you all so much who are joining us live, as well as those of you that are joining on the replay. If you could, please make sure that you hit like on this video, as well as throw in a comment. And if you're not subscribed to this channel, please go ahead and do that so that you can be kept appraised on everything that we're doing all throughout the rest of the season. But now, without further ado, let's just see what in the world we all had for this week. I titled this Stress Relief, but I could almost call this the #1 contender qualifier week, because we had the Star Wars Tournament semifinal, which in its own way is a #1 contender qualifier match in of itself. Andres Cobra against Thomas Harper was last week. This week we have Gold Leader against Zach Burkett, which did just drop for patrons. I am in the midst of trying to watch that now. So far, really good match. And then back over to this last week, we had the IG #1 contender qualifier match between Chance Ellison and Robert Parker, the second time these guys have faced off against each other. Our low-key match, if you can say that, was a singles match between JTE and Paul Preston. And then we get into the pay-per-view match, which is the versus. First #1 contender qualifier match was Ethan Erwin against Paul Oyama. And then we had our main event match, which was Ben Bateman versus John Roca. Oh my goodness. So many things to discuss on that. Nat, what was your most anticipated match coming into this week?
I would have to. Okay, so I was looking forward to each of these matches in a different way. I would say my most anticipated was Andres Cabrera versus Thomas Harper, because I had a feeling coming in that Thomas Harper was like this unbeatable juggernaut, and Ace won the tournament last year. He should never be underestimated. So I did not know who to pick coming in that match. So I would say that match was the one I was looking forward to the most. But also I was really looking forward to JT versus Paul Preston, because those two been a match together. That's comedic gold. So I was looking forward to that. But I would still have to say Ace versus Thomas Harper was my #1 this week.
Absolutely. Probably the versus 2 matches were my most anticipated, but absolutely the Star Wars match was definitely one very much anticipated by many of us. And we'll just go ahead and get started with that one right off the bat. So coming into the first round, we had them tied at 8. Someone could have guessed that they were going to be tied at 11, considering the caliber that these guys were playing, but Schmoedown Riders threw in a couple tricky ones in there, so they both missed 2 questions, both of them missing that second question in Revenge of the Sith. The heartbreaking moment of the killed or killing younglings, that just broke my heart on that one. And then Harper missed a question in The Rise of Skywalker, and then Ace missed a second one in the mixed bag, which again does keep them tied there at 8 points apiece. Going into the second round, we have Cabrera deferring over to Harper, who he decides to take The Force Awakens on his first spin. Not surprising, sweeps the category for the full 10 for 10. Cabrera takes A New Hope on his first spin, and once again, sweeps a category for the full 10 for 10. So these guys are still tied at 18-18 apiece. Coming into round 3, Harper, 2-pointer in Jedi Order. Cabrera, 2-pointer in The Phantom Menace. Harper, 3-pointer in Heroes. Ace, 3-pointer in Who Said It. Harper, 5-pointer in Return of the Jedi. Ace, 5-pointer in Vehicles, Weapons, and Technology. So we are going to go to sudden death, because these guys are still tied 28-28. Sudden death round, it goes 6 questions deep inside a sudden death, where they both go perfect for the first 3 questions. They both miss the 4th question, and then Harper hits the 6th question to win the match with a final score of 33-32, where Andres Ace Cabrera answered 20 of 24 questions for 83% accuracy and scored 87% of 37 available points, where Thomas Harper answered 21 of 24 questions for 88% accuracy and scored 89% of 37 available points. So, nail biter to the very end. As soon as we saw these guys both not go perfect inside that first round, I was thinking we are in for a slugfest because these guys were battling it out from the get-go. Nat, what did you think?
What did I think? I mean, I said this was my most anticipated match, and it even exceeded the hype. Like, this match did not go any way I expected. I remember before Twitch Tuesday last week, Dylan was watching the match, and I had not seen it yet, so I made like a blind prediction. I told him, I predict that Thomas Harper's going to go perfect again, and Ace is going to miss one single question, and that's how he loses. That when both of them missed their second question in round number one, it just blew my mind. Like I was like, oh my god, the Russians cut, and they're both the Russians. I cannot believe this match went the way it did, but it shows that they are not invincible. But it does show that they both are worthy of being in the top echelon of Star Wars competitors. So
Absolutely.
This match, it definitely exceeded my expectations.
For sure. And I just did kind of a quick look at kind of the top tier and top ranked competitors inside the Star Wars division across all their matches. All of them are around either mid to high 90% in their accuracies. So there is really not that much of a margin in differences between the top seed competitor down to that 5th, 6th, 7th competitor. You're still looking at those really high percentage accuracies. So the margin of difference is really only in proficiency of one little thing, one little detail that you can pull that your competitor just can't quite pull in time. So definitely a crazy situation. It's going to be very interesting to see how the Gold Leader and Burkett match ends up playing out and how they are going to match up against the Major Thomas Harper as he will be moving on to the finals of this tournament, which will be airing in the pay-per-view this week. So we get to find out his competitor this week, and we'll also see him try to go for that chance to go up against Demolanta, the current champion, later on this year. So without further ado, let's move into another match here that was one that we were seeing bound to happen from last season. Cobra Chance Ellison against Robert the Spider Parker. Love the promo digs they were taking at each other with the Cobra and Spider references. So much fun to be had there. But again, Chance was the one who defeated Parker out of the tournament last season, and this was Parker's chance to even the score between the two of them. And he was off to a pretty good start here in round one, where he was up by 2, him going perfect for 11 points there in round one, Ellison missing 1 only to be down 11-9. Coming on over into round 2, Parker defers to Chance, where Chance decides to take X-Men on his first spin, going 9 for 10, doing 1 multiple choice tech down, but no steal opportunities available. Parker takes Swashbuckling Adventure on his first spin and sweeps the round for the full 10 out of 10, where Parker does gain 1 to be now up 3, 18-21, going into the third round, where Chance hits a 2 and 3-pointer in Planet of the Apes and DC, respectively, bouncing it back over to Parker to hit his 2 and 3 in graphic novels and comic book movies, where it goes back over to Chance, who misses his 5-pointer in Mixed Bag, which does give Robert Parker the win with a final score of 26-23, where Chance Ellison answered 16 of 18 questions for 89% accuracy, scored 74% of 31 available points. Robert Parker, once again, 18 of 18 questions for 100% accuracy and scored 100% of 26 available points. This is his second instance this year of going perfect 100-100 inside of a match, given the questions that he is having to answer. When he faced up against Brandon Hanna, he did not have to hit his 5 in that match, nor did he have to hit his 5 in this match. But all the available points he could get, he is getting. Chance is still a genuine threat inside of this league. Cannot deny that. But Parker just seems to be on another level right now and is just locked in. What are your thoughts just of watching Parker as a competitor, Nat?
Parker is always just so impressive to me. He's finally living up to the hype that we threw on him last season. The reason this match wasn't my most anticipated was because I love both of them and I don't want to see either of them lose. So that's why. But I mean, Chance is always going to be a threat in any division he plays in. We already know that, and he already has a victory over Robert Parker. Robert Parker came into this match with a chip on his shoulder. He really wanted, because what's even more impressive to me was that in round 2 he took swashbuckling adventures, and that's a new category. Like I would say he probably didn't start studying that until this year, until it was announced that it was going to be part of the Inner Geekdom division. So that's even more impressive to me that he just knocked that category out of the park. To go 100% in 2 matches in a row, I can't imagine anyone stopping Robert Parker on the hot streak he's on right now. He's just that good.
Well, he's going to get, someone's going to get their chance because he's going to be facing Chandru Dhanapani in a number 1 contender match, also coming up here very shortly. But yeah, Parker doesn't necessarily have that obvious intensity when you watch him play, but he is definitely very dialed in and is on a hot streak right now. Between myself and Frank, we both kind of put up different representations of accuracy inside of the IG division. And if you're looking at just a season overall, if you've played multiple matches and in lifetime, Parker still holds the highest accuracy of any competitor inside of the IG division, which is crazy. Totally insane numbers to look at. So we'll see if he can keep this up.
Yeah, I don't think the last time these two played was a fluke, like Robert Parker said. I think Chance is very good, and his skill level put him in a position to win. But man, Robert Parker is just doing everything he can to cement his place as an Inner Geekdom great. Like I'm so impressed by him. He was a victim of so much hype last season where it was impossible to live up to all that hype. But he hasn't missed yet this season, so I can't wait to see him play Chandru. I don't know who's going to win that match.
Absolutely. That is going to be a crazy match. But let's just chug right along here. And the rest of this week, we're looking at the last match before the pay-per-view event. We saw JTE going up against Paul, the Powder Keg Preston. A match that I didn't know quite what to think coming into this match. JTE has been playing very well. Preston's also been playing very well. So didn't quite know fully what to see coming up out of this match. But coming into round 1, we did see Paul Preston being up 9-6. Preston going perfect with the bonus question, and JTE missing 2 questions in round 1. Moving on over into round 2, we have Preston deciding to spin first. He takes new releases on his first spin. He goes 7 out of 8, checking down the multiple choice just 1 time, but not giving up any steal opportunities. And also, same fashion, JTE takes Halle Berry on his first spin and also goes 7 out of 8, checking down multiple choice once, not giving up any steal opportunities. So Preston does not lose or gain any advantage. He is still up by 3, 16-13, going into the final round, where JTE hits a 2 and a 3-pointer in Westerns and Tom Hanks, bounces it back over to Preston, who hits his 2 and his 3 in comedy and scores and soundtracks. JTE hits his 5-pointer in Martin Scorsese, but Preston misses his 5-pointer in Action Adventure, which does give JTE the win, a final score of 23-21, where JTE answered 13 of 15 questions for 87% accuracy, scored 85% of 27 available points, and Paul Preston answered 15 of 16 questions for 94% accuracy and scored 78% of 27 available points.
Yeah, Once again, going to show how important the 5-pointer is. I
Absolutely.
Paul Preston does what Paul Preston does best, which is look really impressive and just coming up just short in such a heartbreaking fashion. I feel so bad for he had 93.8% accuracy and lost to someone with the much lower accuracy than him in this match.
Yes. Question of Paul only missed one question. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, it was the 5-pointer that he had to have. Yes, Ryan Christensen, get your opponent to the 5-point question. You never know what'll happen. Absolutely. And yeah, Lee Logan, thanks for stopping in. The 5-pointer, he had the other person, Powers Booth, and versus the other answer. And not coming up with the names right off the top of my head. But yes, there were two people that were very close, and you could very easily mix the two of them up. And he unfortunately just picked the wrong one. But that is the breaks you get occasionally.
You can't catch a break, and it
cannot. It does. It does. He's an amazing competitor.
Yeah. I will say I'm so impressed by JT. I did not think coming into this season that JT was going to be performing as well as he has, especially since he got destroyed by Shannon Miller last season, or the season before that. But I mean, you have to give JT his flowers. Like he has been so impressive lately. He's had so much momentum that I can't really be mad at this win. But I'm just so sad for Paul Preston.
Absolutely. You really can't. And, yes, the 5-pointers just did some quick research on 5-pointers as well. And so far, without being able to go back to the full history of the match in the recent seasons, Brendan Meyer is the only competitor that I've seen with more than 2 matches where he's had to go to the 5-pointer where he is 100% accurate in hitting 5-pointers so far in a singles matches, which is pretty crazy. JT currently right now with what I have on him has gone 2 out of 3. So he's not quite at that 100. He missed out on that 100% accuracy there, but still some pretty impressive accuracy thus far with coming back after being gone for a while. JT is definitely showing us why he came back and why we should be keeping him in our radar.
Yeah, very, very impressed by JT. I will say that stat you just pulled out. I think just to touch on Brendan Meyer for a second. He looks like this unassuming, this nice little boy, but he is secretly a monster. And that statistic just surprised me so much that he has 100% accuracy in 5-pointers. Like that's crazy. But also JT should not be discounted in any match he's in, as he's shown here. You just got to get your opponent to your 5-pointer, and then
absolutely. And yes, Leo, that is correct. He is 2-0 over the outsiders in singles. Beat Ben Goddard in basically the same fashion. Ben Goddard was up going into that 3rd round, and for both these guys, that 5-pointer just caught him on the chin. So that is how this game goes, to be sure. But enough with the preamble. Let's get to our main event, our big pay-per-view event. Last chance to jump off. If you have not seen the matches and you don't want to be spoiled, here we go. We had our undercard, which either of these matches could have been flip-flopped, though ultimately I feel like this was the correct decision based on how the matches turned out. This was a very strong undercard, and the main event definitely felt like an intense main event. But we had, first off, Ethan Big Time Erwin against Primetime Polyamor. First time these guys have faced off in singles. And they start off showing why they're in this number 1 contender qualifier position. They come out of round 1 tied at 9. Both of them going perfect, plus the bonus. Amazing to see. Going into the 2nd round, Erwin elects to spin first. Spins, unfortunately, opponent's choice first and is given Audrey Hepburn. He does well, going 6 out of 8, checking down the multiple choice once, and does give up a 1-point steal, having missed that multiple choice option. Going over to Oyama, he decides to take movie release dates on his first spin. He comes out with 5 out of 8, where he checks down multiple choice twice, but does give up one of those as a 1-point multiple choice steal, where Erwin is now up by 1. 16-15 going into the final round, where it is a ping pong back and forth. Oyama, 2-pointer in animated. Erwin, 2-pointer in directors. Oyama, 3-pointer in musicals. Erwin, 3-pointer in crime. Oyama, 5-pointer movie release dates. Erwin hits his 5-pointer in Leonardo DiCaprio, which does give Erwin the win with a final score of 26-25, where Ethan Erwin answered 16 to 17 questions for 94% accuracy and scored 93% of 28 available points. Polyamor answered 16 to 17 questions for 94% accuracy and scored 89% of 28 available points. One multiple choice checkdown is what separated these guys and kept it from going to sudden death. Otherwise, these guys had the same accuracy, same number of points and same number of questions answered, but different point values, with Oyama electing to go multiple choice on that third question in his round 2. I came in this match without a really strong opinion of which one that I wanted to win, one way or the other. Nat, what did you think, or what were your thoughts coming into this one?
Coming into this match, I didn't know what to do because I'm just over here shouting into the void, stop doubting Asian players. But what do I do when they're both Asian, and who do I pick in that scenario? I don't know what to do. So I came in. I think I would have had to say that Paul Oyama had a slight edge, just because he is a more strategic player. But Ethan Erwin is a powerhouse of knowledge, so can't ever count him out. This match could have easily gone either way. Like any given Saturday or Friday when they played, it could have gone either way. So this was a great match. I think I wouldn't call it an undercard necessarily. I consider it a co-main event. So
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was a great match. I think that Ryan in chat brings up that Oyama should have spun away from movie release dates. I kind of agree. I think that Paul Oyama has said that that most times he knocks that category out of the park, but it's such a hard category. I think he would have had a better chance with another category if he spun away. But I'm not Paul Oyama, so I can't really speak to that too much. I don't know what I'm talking about. But I would have liked to see him spin away from movie release days. I think he would have had a better chance at cleaning up that category. But yeah,
Absolutely. That broad of a category covering, you never really know what you're going to get. It has been hit quite a few times just within this season, so it is starting to get a little more tricky, a little tougher, a little more oddball type of questions. So definitely him having that broader category was kind of an unfortunate thing for him to have to try and deal with. Again, we don't know what was kind of going through his mind as far as how he felt about the rest of the wheel. But to be fair, that was definitely an amazing match to watch. And thank you so much, Ben Rayner, for the $14.99 Streamlabs there, or Super Chat, I'm sorry. Ethan and Paul are both scary when on fire, and they both were, and agree, both matches were main events. For sure, as far as the intensity and energy, this next one we're going to talk about definitely had a little bit more of that, but absolutely this match was a knockout fight and really exciting to see, because now Erwin has somebody else to worry about. The winner of our next match, where we had Ben the Boss Bateman against John the Outlaw Roca. And we're going to see some similar trends here. Coming out of round 1, they're both tied, 9 for 9. First time I believe we've had a pay-per-view event where both matches, all 4 competitors went perfect, 9 out of 9 in a singles match. Don't directly quote me on that, but it sounds awfully familiar that would be the case. Coming into round 2, Bateman defers to Roca. Roca spins away from Sean Connery, ends up taking 1990s, does sweep the category for the full 8 out of 8. Bateman spins Sean Connery and elects to keep it on his first spin, where he also sweeps the round for the full 8 points, to where they are still tied 17-17 going into the third and what we think might be final round, Roca hits a 2-pointer in Oscars, Bateman 2-pointer in Action Adventure. Roca hits a 3-pointer in musicals, Bateman hits his in scores and soundtracks. Roca misses 5-pointer in 2000s, and then Bateman hits a 5-pointer in martial arts films that he also misses. So we are still tied 22-22. We're going to sudden death yet again this week, where, oops, sorry about that. Did not zoom in on that one, so we're just going to do this. Perfect. Where they both miss the second question in sudden death, but Bateman does hit his third question to win the match at 24-23, where Ben Bateman answered 17 of 19 questions for 90% accuracy and scored 80% of 30 available points. John Roca answered 16 of 19 questions for 84% accuracy and scored 77% of 30 available points. Oh my goodness. Down to the wire yet again. When it came down to it, they both came to play, and they were both playing perfect up until that 5-pointer, which then, believe or not believe that each of them knew the other's 5-pointer. If that were true, we would have ended up in the exact same situation going into sudden death, because up until that point, neither of them had missed a question. So either way, we have the same result. Now, what are your thoughts of, now that we know we're going to be ending up seeing Bateman versus Erwin, what are your thoughts going into that match?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that match. I think I really love that both of these matches, the contrast between them. Like in your first match, you had two players who had a great respect for each other, and this match where they can't stand each other. I love that. I love the duality of pay-per-view matches. Going into the next match, Ben Bateman versus Ethan Erwin, I'm really interested to see how Bateman plays this, because he's known for his trash talk. He's known for trying to get into people's heads. I don't really think you can do that with Ethan Erwin. I think all that trash talk, he's like Teflon. It doesn't stick. I think that it makes for a really interesting match where you have, it's kind of like a rehash of of Ethan Erwin and Polyamor, except less respectful, I feel like, because Ben Bateman is a strategic mastermind. Ethan Erwin is this powerhouse of knowledge. I am really interested to see how that goes. I can't really call it.
Absolutely. It could go either way, and ultimately the winner of that match will end up going on to face Merle, which will either be Bateman meeting Merle for the third time, or Merle facing Ethan for the fourth time. So either way, it is going to be very, very interesting. And thank you so much, Jose, for the $20 donation there. I was confident that Ben would win, but I was completely amazed by Roca's performance. He is a legend for a reason. Absolutely, you cannot count out John Roca when it comes to this game, because whenever you think, oh, he's been in here too long, he's not going to be able to pull it out, he comes to play. And this match, he certainly did. Very impressive from both competitors on all sides. But that is going to do it for this week's matches. Be sure to tune in next week, same time, same place, 4 PT, 4 Eastern, on Mondays to catch us going over all the matches that have happened in the previous week. Nat, where else are you going to be seen here on the Call to Action channel for the rest of this week?
Well, I'm not going to be on the YouTube channel, but I am going to be on Twitch tomorrow at right there. I think we're going back to our usual time at 6 Pacific, because we went earlier last week, but I'm not sure if we're still doing that this week. Check Twitter. Okay. Check Twitter for our updates. But yeah, you can find me there. You can check out No Chill on this YouTube channel. We're having an episode come out this month. Eventually, we haven't really made concrete plans yet, but while you wait for those, go back and watch the Sean Sullivan episode. Watch the Sabrina Ramirez episode. She has a match coming up this week. So very topical. Go check those out.
Absolutely. Be sure to check out all of our social media accounts, which are down in the description of this video. Also check out Call Live, which happened over this past Sunday, so just yesterday. We had interviews there with Chance Ellison and Robert Parker, who had matches earlier that week. So check that out for some more detailed talk about the matches and our thoughts in on that. But again, make sure that you are liking, subscribing, and commenting on this channel and these videos so that you can continue interacting with us. We love hearing from you, and that you are also being caught and kept up to date on everything that is happening here on this channel. But until next time, for Nat and the entire Call to Action team, I'm Megs, and this is an After Action Report, signing off.